Hello everyone and welcome to The Daily Dish. I'm your host Kathy Rankin, and all week long we've been talking to Amanda Junker. She is the digital director at Shape Magazine, and very exciting stuff, especially now that we're past New Year's and the holidays, and we're getting ready for spring and swimsuit season coming around the corner. And She Knows has partnered with Shape Magazine on this really great survey. We're finding out how women are using social media and digital media and all these sites like Facebook and Pinterest and Twitter for their daily health and nutrition and diet tips and stuff. So we talked earlier about some of the results of the survey, and I think this is really interesting, how these sites affect body image. Mm-hmm. And there's some really interesting things that you found out with the survey. Talk about what were the main things that stood out to you.
Yeah, well, one big stat that was really eye-opening for us was that 42% of women said that they felt less confident about themselves and their looks as a result of using social media.
Now, do you have theories or information as to why that is?
Well, I think a big reason of this is the comparison factor. You've got photos of yourself out there, you see photos from your friends, and you can't help but kind of compare and see like, well, she's skinnier than me, she's fitter than me, things like that. In fact, women said in the survey, 56% of them admitted to comparing their photos to those of others. And so I think that's a big factor in how they feel about themselves.
Now, did you find the same trend with like Twitter and?
It wasn't specific per social network, but there was a study done last year that half of the people who responded to the study said that the timeline layout of Facebook actually makes it easier for them to compare photos of themselves today versus 5 years ago.
Oh.
And so
yeah, that could be painful.
Yeah. So if they're not comparing themselves to others, then they're comparing themselves to themselves when they were like 22 and 20 pounds lighter. So
this
that can
is
always be
affecting
hard.
how people feel about themselves,
Yeah.
and it's kind of making them a little bit depressed. So
Yeah.
what are your suggestions on how women cannot let that happen to them? Because they're going to use these sites regardless.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the number one thing you can do is to fine-tune your news feed so that you're being selective about the updates that you see from other people. Most of us have a few hundred friends on Facebook, many of whom you aren't really that close with or you don't necessarily want daily updates from. And so you can change the settings so that you fill your news feed with people who post updates that make you feel happy and that feel good about yourselves and that you actually communicate with on a day-to-day basis. And so that can be a big help. And going one step further, don't be afraid to defriend. It sounds kind of harsh, but yeah, I know. It sounds harsh, but there was a study done last year that showed that 354 was actually the magic number or the tipping point after which people, if they had more than 354 friends, they started to feel diminishing returns in terms of the happiness that they got from Facebook. Whereas lower than that, they, felt good about their interactions online. It's definitely good to just keep things in perspective and, focus more on your real life friends and just, your realistic standards for what you are going to look like and what you want to look like, and you don't have to necessarily feel so pressured by all of these images that you're looking at every day.
And I like the point you made that it's the same with your face-to-face friendships. Sometimes you need to let friends go if they're not making you feel good and supported.
Right.
And so those same rules apply online, I guess. Well, really great insight, Amanda, and we hope you guys will join us again on another Daily Dish, because she's going to be back and she's going to be talking about some specific things that we can use in our daily lives from the social media sites to really help us feel our best. We'll see you then.